Hello, everybody. Tom Leahy. Hi, Candace. How are you?
I'm good. I'm hoping my Wi-Fi holds out and I don't freeze, so I'm apologizing ahead of time.
Yeah. You notice that it's Casual Friday?
Oh, I did not know this, but
Yes. Well, it's Casual Friday. That's because I don't have any meetings today, right? I'm not seeing anybody, right? If I did, I'd be dressed differently. And that's sort of why what we're going to be talking about today is informational interviews and shadowing and how
okay.
to present yourself professionally and to use those experiences to further your story and your application process and all of that. But before we get into that, I need to let everybody know that you're probably aware. If you're not, there's been a lot of issues, especially if you're a senior. This is important. A lot of issues with the filing of the free application for federal student aid. A new form, a new process was put out by the federal government. They've had a lot of issues with it, and now schools are not going to have that information until mid-March. The
Right.
information that they need to use to determine what they're going to offer in terms of need-based assistance, they're not going to
Right.
have that until mid-March. So a lot of schools, because of that, are starting to extend the acceptance deadline, which universally is considered to be 1st of May. A
May
lot of
1st, yeah.
schools, like I just saw, Tech and UVA are pushing it back to 15 May. So
Mhm.
it is, it's incumbent upon you to check the schools that you've been accepted to. They probably may have already notified you, but if you haven't heard, you need to check with them to see if that acceptance deadline has been extended, because it's important to get offers of financial aid from all the schools that you've been accepted to so you can compare them and make the very best decisions as to where you want to attend, especially if
Yeah.
cost is an issue.
Yeah, and there's no rush in accepting. Schools want you to accept early because they want, for their own planning
Right.
purposes. But until you weigh all of your options and you're
No.
certain, you don't have to accept until
Right.
at least May 1st.
Right.
And right now, a lot of schools are looking at extending that.
Yeah, exactly. And it gives you, take that time if you haven't been able to visit a school that you've been accepted to.
Mhm.
You should probably go and visit just so you have that experience
Absolutely.
and weave that into your decision making process.
And
All
a
right.
lot of schools will have like events for accepted students, let you sleep
Exactly.
over in dorms,
Yeah.
activities. They have like special days for that. So,
And don't forget eating the food.
right, yeah.
Yeah. So you need to have that experience. All right. So the subject for today is informational interviews and shadowing and why. First of all, let's talk about why it's important to do that, Candace.
Right. So, I I read a book recently, or not even recently, but I read it twice. It's called Designing Your Life,
Uh,
and it is by two engineering professors at Stanford. And in engineering, they prototype, right? They build stuff and try it to see if it works. And the reason they took that model and applied it to figuring out what you want to do. And I think it's brilliant. And it feeds right into what we're talking about today because deciding because you read about it or particular job or someone told you you might be good at it, it might not be suited for you, right? And a way to figure out whether it is or isn't is by talking to someone who does the job. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very important. But
Mm-hmm.
it can also lend itself to um, embellishing your story,
Mm-hmm.
your resume, depending on what those interviews or shadowing entail.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've had a couple of students who have actually been in dentist office and they're interested in going to dental school. So
Mm-hmm.
again, keep in mind that these things can also help tell your story and show
Absolutely.
how committed you are to your future and to
Mm-hmm.
doing the right things to get where you want to be. So yeah.
Well, it also serves the purpose of ruling it out. If you talk to that person and you're thinking to yourself, I always thought I wanted to be this, but man, that sounds awful.
Right.
It
Exactly.
rules it out too, that you're not going too far down a path that might not be right for you.
Right. And the other thing that it lends itself to is to start to create a network of professionals for yourself, which is going to be extremely important when you get to the end of college and you're looking to be hired. As you talk to more people, as you get in front of people, you're starting to establish that network of people who know you, who you can go back to, solicit information about work and that sort of thing. So,
and that is the best way to get hired. Sending resumes and applications into the abyss is not the best way to get hired. It's establishing connections, and you might as well start early.
Exactly. So, with that in mind, when you engage, this is a great way to also practice and learn some workplace skills too, to be able to reach out to a professional, set up an appointment, either, going to be a phone call or maybe it's a Zoom or maybe even in person, but, it's a way to practice, that skill, because when you get into the workplace, it's going to be very important to be able to walk into a room and engage people, shake their hands, look them in the eye, introduce yourself, and to have that professional presence to include, your appearance, your dress, and all those things that are part of that. So,
well, you also want to be prepared with some questions that you're going to ask. You don't go in blind. You want to have done some research and ask specific questions, and allow them to share what they know, and things like a day in the life of ask them about their schooling and how they got there.
Right. Yes. You're the one that initiated this meeting. You need to be in charge of the meeting. So you need to come equipped to kind of drive the conversation. As Candace said, have questions that you want to ask, and be engaged and act interested in all that good stuff, because it's really important, because you never know when you might see that person again in your life and have an impact. Yeah.
And guess what? If you work with us, we help you find those opportunities. we actually will reach out and make that first, and then connect you with the person doing the job that you might consider doing, and we will help you make those connections. We will coach you through, how to conduct yourself, if that is something you want.
We just made a connection for one of our students with an aerospace engineer.
We
have
did.
that conversation. These are the kind of things that we can help with because of our reach and network of people that we know, and it really makes a big difference. It really does in a lot of ways. So it's an important part of the process. And if you're shy, if you're an introvert, I don't know, we can give you a Red Bull to drink or whatever. I don't know. We'll help you out. We can practice.
Yeah. If you're an introvert, you still should be able to have a one-on-one conversation.
Oh, you'd have to be able to do that, right?
You have to practice. Yeah.
Yes. Everybody.
Practice the earlier that you are.
Exactly. Yeah. So, so very important to do these things for a number of reasons, as we described. If you want to talk more about it with us, get more advice and insight, how do they get a hold of us, Candace?
Yeah, so you can either message us directly on whatever social media platform you're seeing this video, or you can go to our website at www.optimumedcenter.com. If you click on Talk to an Advisor, you can schedule an appointment and talk with us directly, or hit the phone number and give us a call.
Okay, very good. I thought you were going to tell me that the reason I was wearing a red T-shirt is because Kansas City won the Super Bowl.
I wasn't going to say
that.
Okay.
All right. Yay. Okay. Anyway.
My team wasn't there.
All right. Well, we'll let y'all get to your weekend. Take care. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.